Hey, what's going on, people? I'm Terrell Andretti, and I'm the Narc's Nemesis. If y'all are watching me on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. That helps YouTube's algorithm push out this content to make sure others get it. The way you got it is by somebody else liking the video. So, y'all take a minute right now and like the video. Today, I'm going to talk about there is no happy ending with a narcissist with any situation. I know a lot of y'all are watching the narc with the new supply and watching them move on and watching their page, and y'all might think they're happy because you're on the outside looking in, which, to be all the way honest, you're not supposed to be on the outside looking in. But I've been here before and I understand. But y'all need to be no contact. Y'all need to be off of their page. They need to be blocked. Y'all don't need to be driving by their house. Y'all don't need to be doing no pop-ups. None of that. The thing you need to focus on is your healing and your situation. But I understand because I've been here. That's how I know to tell you guys these things. First off, how can somebody have a happy ending when they're miserable inside? How can somebody have a happy ending when they destroy everything that comes in their path? How could somebody have a happy ending when they have so much karma that they haven't answered to yet because they're running from themselves? How can somebody have a happy ending when all you were good to them and they gave you nothing but shit in return? They abused you, they mistreated you, they lied to you, they cheated on you, and Lord knows what else they did to you. Y'all gotta think, narcissists know these cycles like the back of their hands because they've done them so many times. I'm gonna tell you one thing: if you knew how many partners a narcissist actually has had or has while they're with you, you wouldn't even want to touch them anymore, because they're always on constant survey for new supply, and so many situations fizzle out with them. Man, a narcissist can have so many partners just within the span of a couple weeks, a couple days. So imagine a couple months, some of y'all a couple years, y'all have been away from these people and y'all still might be obsessed with them. If you really just can see a narcissist's whole facts, I call it the whole facts. If you really can just see their history, their sexual history, if you're a decent human being, that shit'll turn you off. Because I know how I feel about somebody I'm with. Once somebody else touch you, I don't want you. Once I see the kind of people that are able to touch you, I don't want you. Because what happens is, if you giving yourself to another person that's of lower quality than me, or somebody who don't take care of their hygiene, somebody who's disrespectful, somebody who, ain't worth a damn, what does that say about me? And what does that say about all that energy you're gathering from these different individuals, and you bringing that shit back to me? Y'all got to start thinking like this. You got to start being bougie with yourself. You got to have some kind of standards about yourself when you're looking at these individuals. And I know it's hard because you got to break the trauma bond, and then you start developing cognitive dissonance, which is basically you making excuses for their way of treating you, and you taking it out on everybody else instead of the actual person that's abusing you. So I know it's hard, but you got to gain these principles in order to have some kind of sense of self when you can look and see like what type of people have access to these people, that shit should turn you off. You know what I'm saying? Because they're bringing that energy back to you, and then it's messing your reputation up. You know how it looks, somebody standing next to you, and you know they've been around the town. You don't think people looking at you a certain kind of way or holding you to a certain kind of standard? But anyway, back to the point. You got to realize the reason why I look so happy and healthy and beautiful and like they just rode off into the sunset after y'all were together. First of all, I keep saying it. Narcissists are masters of illusion and masters at manipulation. And that doesn't just apply to when you're involved with them or when you're in a relationship with them or have some kind of contact with them. That applies for people on the outside too. And what I mean by that is they done this stuff so many times before, they kind of know how to control the narrative. Because you got to understand, the narcissist is used to retaining supply, whether they put them on the shelf or, you know, they can manipulate them for a long period of time. So they're not used to losing supply. They're used to controlling the narrative, keeping people in the harem, keeping people on that merry-go-round. So they're trained by experience to keep people around and to keep people engaged. And how you keep somebody engaged, you kind of make them obsessed with you, which they've made a lot of y'all. And I've been there too. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been there too. But you have to recognize what's illusion and what's reality. And you have to remember also, narcissists don't live in reality. They live in delusion that they created in their mind, that they created for you. You have to understand, narcissists know a lot of y'all are still watching their pages. They know a lot of y'all are still concerned with who they're talking to. They know a lot of y'all are still concerned with getting revenge. They know a lot of y'all are still hurt. And a lot of these are normal feelings. But when you're able to step back and take your emotions out of these situations, this is where you gain true clarity. This is where you gain some kind of clear consciousness about what's going on in this situation. You have to take your emotions out of the situation when you're dealing with a narcissist, because they feed off of emotion and they're able to manipulate emotions. You cannot out-manipulate a narcissist. You might be able to outthink them, but if you got any kind of empathy in you, you cannot out-manipulate them, because they have no threshold and they have no limit to where they will go to manipulate you. But back to the point, you have to realize a lot of these people know y'all are still watching them. So you have to understand, they want to make stuff look a certain way because they still want to get back at you. Even though they might have been the one to discard you, they want to hurt you as much as they can, because what they want to do, if somebody hurts you as much as they can, what is it going to make you do? Remember them. Because you're going to remember your hard times, and you're going to remember the people who put you there. So if they can hurt you enough to make you the most heartbroken you ever been, you ain't going to forget that. You know what I'm saying? And that's their goal. So you won't forget. So when they try to come in at a later date, first of all, you'll want answers. Second of all, you haven't forgotten, so you will be more susceptible to their You'll be more susceptible to their manipulation. It's a tactic. It's a sick tactic, but it is a tactic that they use. Furthermore, like I said, they know y'all are paying attention. They know y'all are watching. And what they want to do, just like they did with you to people outside of y'all's relationship, they have to put on a show. Like they're living a good life. They have to put on a show like nothing's wrong. They have to act like they're this special partner, because y'all gotta realize they've been smearing your name since right after the love bomb phase. They've been telling people you're this, you're that, you won't be this, you won't be that. They've been telling people that you've been doing all the shit that they've been doing. So they've been setting this up. So you got to understand, they don't want to go to the next relationship and look foolish. They don't want to go to the next relationship and look like they're losing, because they've been talking all this shit about you all this time. And if they were to go to another relationship and fail over there, the people that they've been smearing your name to, they'll start thinking, well, damn, you said this person was this, this, and this, but you went over here and you had the same issue with this person. The problem must be you. And y'all know they can't face accountability. They cannot be held accountable for their actions. They're going to run from that. So, regardless of what's going on in that household, you got to remember, when they were with you, people from the outside looking in, they thought shit was sunshine and rainbows, but just didn't know you were living in the worst hell that you ever been in your life, right? It is no different when they go on to the next situation, because for a person to change, for a person to truly change, they have to be able to be held accountable. Accountability makes you reflect on your actions, and it makes you reflect on things that you need to change, and it makes you take ownership of what you've done wrong and what needs corrected. Narcissists will never take accountability. So how can they change? You think somebody's just finna leave you one day and then be a whole total brand new person the next day? Change don't work like that. Change takes actual work. Narcissists are fucking lazy and they are unaccountable. So that means they're not gonna even recognize that they have work to do. They know they're wrong, but the disorder won't allow them to accept that they're wrong. So they know y'all are watching. So they got to put on this front. Second off, they're too prideful to let you know that something's going wrong over there, because that'll give you validation. If you know that something's wrong over there, and you know that they went over there and they're fucked up too, or they went over there and they got in a worse situation. See, some of y'all only see the situation from the outside looking in. You don't know what's going on in that house. You don't know what's going on in that bed. You don't know what's going on between them and whatever other supply that they had to deal with. Because you can bet your ass, just like they had that supply in the background, they got another supply in the background for that supply that they're with. And they're trying to keep you in the background. So you got to understand, they're putting on an orchestration because they have an image to protect. They don't want to go off to another situation because most of them left y'all. So you got to think, how would that make them look if they left you to go to a worse situation? That'll make them look stupid, because all that shit they talked about you in the relationship, that'll make them look stupid. And then that'll put a smile on your face, and that'll validate you and everything that you've been through. So they have to make it look a certain kind of way, because they know people are watching. Narcissists are masters at perception management. So you got to understand, everything is not how y'all think it is. They're getting the same abuse that you got, if not worse, especially if you're not entertaining the Hoovers and you're not entertaining the triangulation. They have to send that negative energy somewhere. And they're going to send it to the person that's closest to them, which is their current supply. So y'all are thinking they went on and they lived this happy life. Man, that supply over there is hanging on by a fucking thread. A thread. Probably in a worse situation and a worse state of mind than you were. And I'm going to tell y'all why a lot of y'all don't see this. Because a lot of people say, man, narcissists don't get their karma. Narcissists do get their karma. They get it every day. Because imagine not being able to love. Imagine not being able to care. Imagine not being able to trust. Imagine your mind not letting you sleep every day. Because you got demons inside of you and you're running from karma that you've administered over the last how many ever years. So they're never at peace because they're always running from something. If you haven't took accountability for your wrongs and your act, you'll never be at peace because God won't let you be at peace. You can't have hell on the inside of you and expect to live heavenly on the outside. A lot of y'all haven't seen this karma from the narcissist because simply emotionally you're not ready to. Because you're still so emotionally attached to them. If you've seen them going through a bad situation, you're still emotionally attached to them. So guess what? You'll interrupt their karma because of your emotions that you have still attached to them. You would interrupt their karma. If they're going through a bad situation because of a situation that they put you in, you're still so emotionally attached to them that you would stop whatever karma they have going on and you would save them from their situation. And a lot of y'all know I'm telling the truth. Sometimes you don't see that karma because you haven't healed enough yourself to see it. You haven't understood narcissism enough to see it. You haven't understood narcissism to know everything they do is a fucking lie. There is no happy ending for a narcissist. Ever. You might have temporary chapters, and to be honest, as the story goes on, the chapters get worse. And the chapters get shorter. There ain't no happy ending. A lot of y'all are saying, well, how can they go on and live these happy lives? Who said their life was happy? Social media? Them? Shouldn't believe shit they say. They've been lying since they met you. You gotta remember, weren't they acting happy when they were with you? Didn't they have everybody else fooled? The only difference now is you're on the outside looking in. But what you have to do when you're on the outside looking in, you have to remember how it felt to be in. Did you get that? You have to remember how it felt to be in when you're on the outside looking in. And then you'll truly realize this ain't nothing but another act in whatever play that they got going on. Narcissists don't have happy endings. And I'll touch more on this in another video. I gotta make a run. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, y'all know I make music. I make music about narcissism. I'll put the link in the description. I got the Narc Free 2023 shirts if y'all want. If y'all want to donate to the channel, I'll put my Cash App in the description. Y'all don't have to. I'm still going to put out this information. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's not why I'm here. I'm here to help as many people as I can beat this thing because a lot of people really don't fucking know. So I'm still working on the coaching, the one-on-one coaching. Still trying to figure it out. Please bear with me. I want to thank y'all for all the subscriptions, all the comments, and I also want to give y'all some love and appreciation because I see so many of y'all uplifting each other in the comments, and that shit is awesome. I appreciate that. I try to make this a space of positivity, and one thing that this should tell everybody: there's enough hate in the world. There's enough racism in the world. there's enough discrimination in the world. This one thing that we all have in common, because I've seen white, black, brown, gold, all kinds of people in my comments showing love and support for one another. This one thing that we all have in common should prove that you and me and anybody else of any different color or any race or any background, we're no different from each other, because we all share this one thing in common: pain. So when you go out in the world today, be a little nicer. When you see somebody from a different background, be a little more understanding, be a little more appreciative, be a little more gentle, be a little more kind to one another, because we all bleed red, and we're really not any different from anybody else walking this earth. So again, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, be a little more kind when you go out in the world today. And another day, another way. You ain't gotta like it, but I know you heard me.